All right, for this problem here, we're going to go ahead and take a look and draw this problem using um, creating rectangles. And then from rectangle, I'm going to do a lot of offset to get this kind of rectangles. I'll do it that way. Or you can just create one rectangle and then you can use the array to get all six of these. But let's see. Okay, let's do it both way. So first, let's go to my rectangle. And then I'm going to go ahead and construct a rectangle that is 60 tab by 100. Enter. All right. So then I have the outside of it. Now let's take a look at the inside. All right. How far in? That's 3 inches in from this wall right here. That's 3 inches in. And then we see that up here we got a 3 inches down. So that means everywhere is 3. So I'm going to go to offset. I'm going to hit 3 for the unit. I'll take that in. So there you go. Then I have that. Now I'm going to start constructing this rectangle here and here. What I know is that the longest size is 26. So the length is 26 and the width is 16, and this is also 16. There's 2 units between each of this rectangle and also 2 this way as well. So horizontally and vertically, they are 2 units apart. So let's go. We could go to rectangle to create it, but I can do this right now. I'm going to go ahead and offset. I'm going to click offset, and I'm going to offset 16 unit up. Oops, there's a problem here. When I put my mouse on here, it select the whole rectangle because I create rectangle, right? So there's a way to do this. Click on that and hit explode. Explode. Now each of those lines are now become individual, right? So click on this and 16, enter. I'm going to offset this up 16. All right, and then I'm going to hit enter again, and I'll enter to record the offset. I'm going to change it to 26, and then I'll offset from the right. And then I also offset from the right, and then I'll offset from the left as well. All right. Now, if I quick check for you guys to see, you can see that the distance between this right here is 2 units, right? The yellow one that you are. All right. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to my offset again. I'm going to this time offset 2 units up so that I can have the next set of rectangles. All right. I'm going to offset again, 16 units up. And then I'm going to offset again 2 units up. All right, so now I am at this location right here. I need to do one more 16, so offset 16 one more time. All right, so at this last location, the gap now becomes 4. So I'm going to go ahead and offset 4 units. Now, you did not see me click on the offset because I've been doing offset, and by hitting enter key, it's going to recall what I did last time. All right, so right now, what I can do is I can go ahead and trim this out for you guys to see. Now, if I am to draw this without teaching, I would not trim it at this point. I would just continue my drawing until everything's, at least on the top, you guys saw there, on the top there is, at least up there is 2 rectangle that we can also create before we can trim. But I'm going to do this so you guys can see how it looked. So now I got all that rectangle, and a quick check, you can see that it's 16 by 26, 16 by 26 everywhere, and there's 2 units. There's 2, and this up here is 4. All right, that's 4 units right there. Okay, now that we got that, that's good. Now, we don't know from here up there, we don't know what that is. What we do know is from this point down is 12, right? So I'm going to go offset here. I'm going to do 12 unit down. All right. When I got 12 units down, I know the length of this rectangle still are 26. So it's already there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this gap here. Now there's no dimension there on what it is, but if you can look at this right here, that's 2. This gaps right here between those is the same. It looks the same. So we're going to go ahead and assume that to be 2 units, because if this is 3 right here and this is a little bit smaller, then that we're going to assume that is 2, right? So with that, we're going to go ahead, hit enter one more time, change that to 2. We're going to do the 2 offset. So there we are. This is what we got. And then let's start trim out the one that doesn't belong. One more on this side. All right. So I have that right there. And also this 2 need to be gone. We don't need that. All right. So this is the rectangle that we're going to use to create this pattern that you see here. All right. So far, this problem is quite simple up until this point. Okay. So let's first, we're going to go ahead and going to do something here that I haven't done in the past for you guys to see. I'm going to quick check. We're going to have 24 by 54. All right. 24 for the height and then 54 for the length there. So on this left side of my problem here, I'm going to go ahead and construct a rectangle that is 54 by 24. All right, so I hit 54, enter, and then I hit the tab key, and then I do 24. All right, so with this information, I'm going to go ahead and do one thing. Sorry. I'm going to try to move this as close to the shape as possible. This is going to help me with dimensions when I look at it. This green line is just the origin. So I'm going to just move it so you guys can still see it. All right. So now I have this to look at the problem here so you guys can see. The angle established is 45 by the given problem. There's 2 units between each of this gap. So let me change the color real quick so we can walk through the problem together. So first, right here is the center of the shape. Okay. Remember when we did the rectangle and all that, so we got 26 in from the left and 26 in on the right, and then in the middle is just 2. So right here where the 1 is, right, in the middle of that 2, this is center, right? So I have that established right there. Now from that center, if I construct this now become the center line of these 2 objects, right? So from here to the right, that's 1. From here to the left, that's 1. So we got that information, and then this angle is 45 degree. Okay, you can actually check that real quick, and you can see that the angle is 45 degree right there, right? So now that is given right here. So we're going to take a look at that and see what we're going to do. The only thing that's missing is the length, the dimension of each of this side of the shape. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out that information, and all we have to do is click on line and make sure that down here on your snap, make sure that's midpoint turn on. Now, if your midpoint don't turn on, you can just hit the control and right click, then you can select the midpoint. Okay. But I would like for that to turn on. So I'm going to go to line. You can see the triangle. I'm going to go ahead and construct it in that way. Hit enter again. I'm going to do this right there. Now, you can see that either center. And what the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to by layer. So make sure that it's in white. I'm going to go to that center. I'm going to construct I'm going to construct an angle that is this right here is 180. I want this to go all the way to this line in the bottom here. I'm going to hit the tab key. So I want 45 degree. 180 minus 45 is 135. All right. Now it did not go all the way in there. I can just click on the drop down, hit extend, and voila, I have it. The next thing I'm going to do, like I mentioned, this is the one that we're creating right now. I'm going to offset it 1 up, 1 down. So I already have 1 in there. Hit enter, 1 up, 1 down. All right, enter. And then I can go ahead and zoom in here real quick. We don't need this anymore. Get rid of that. I'm going to extend it this I'm going to extend it that. Okay. And then that is done. We're going to go ahead now, click on line again, and we're going to go to the bottom point. Again, I want the 45 degree. So you can see the degree that I want is 45. So I'm going to do tab. I want 135 on this side as well. Escape. And then the new tool here is extend. If you click on it, it's going to extend and stop. But then if you put your mouse back on it, it will extend all the way. All right. What we're going to do now is offset. I'm going to go ahead and offset this 1 unit to the top and 1 unit to the bottom. That's done. Click on this original created line, delete it. We're going to keep the offset. All right. Extend it. What we need to extend. All right. Right now, what I'm doing is basically using, I can create everything using offset, complete pattern. I can do the complete pattern just using offset, but I'm going to show you a faster way how to do it. So the only thing that we need to do right now using the offset is try to determine this segment. Okay. Now, a lot of you will guesstimate it, but there's a way to figure out the actual measurement. So that's why we're talking too much here. All right, so now that we have that, let's see what else we can do. Now I'm going to go ahead and click back to trim because this is going to help me. I know that at this location is an opening. At this location is an opening, right? So you can see that right here. This is a location that we just create, and that is a location we just created, right? Here and there. So now that I have that, I'm going to see right here what we're looking at is this little segment. This is a midpoint of that, right? So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to click on that midpoint, the triangle. It's going to go up. I'm going to go ahead, same thing. At this time, I'm going to draw 135 degree, which is already there. So I'm just going to hit enter there. And let me click on it and get rid of it and try to do it again. All right, so that does not look like 135. Right there, you can see 125, hit tab. I'm going to do 135. There's my angle. Again, you can just go to extend and you can extend it out. Okay. Offset is 1 unit. It's already there. 1 up, 1 down. All right. We have those. Escape. Get rid of the original line that we created. We're going to keep the offset one. Extend that. Extend that. Okay. And then we can go there and we can trim. All right. Now at this point, after I trim, you guys can see that we will see some dimension. Okay. I'm going to trim. I don't have to trim everything here, but now at this point, as you guys can see, if I go to quick and I try to do measure, you guys see this right here, right? That is 6.4853. I'm going to write that down. 6.4853. That right there is the measurements of this side of the rectangle, right? Now, that is the measurement that we're looking for, right? Same up here, you're going to have that shape. And if you look at the pattern, it's right there. You can see that. Now, to confirm that is not just any cut, we're going to see, look at that. That's 45 degree and that's 90. That's a triangle, right? It's a right triangle isosceles. That means these two sides the same. So they have the measurement there, 6.4853. And then if I flip this over on the top, I have a complete square. So each of the square has the dimension of 6.4853. Okay. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I can mirror these two objects over that center line, right? And there you go. I have this to be a rectangle, right? That is the same rectangle that we're looking at in each of these, or that could be a square. In this case, it is a square because all the dimensions are the same. So 6.4853, 6.4853, 6.4853, right? So that is everywhere. So that information is going to help us create some stuff. So I'm going to leave that up there. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. I don't want to interfere with this, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. I'm going to go ahead, click move. I'm going to take that. I'm going to move it on this side. I'm going to leave it there. And then I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to redraw a rectangle. That is 54 by 24. Now that I know that information, and by the way, if I keep offsetting things from here, I can now do it on the right hand side, and then I can do the midpoint, the bottom. I'm going to end up with the pattern. Okay, it's just taking some time, some doing, but that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing this is after you find out the measurement of each of the square, we're going to do this. I'm going to go to the midpoint here, construct that segment, enter, enter again, same thing here, enter. Now I established the center. Okay, so right here I just find out this location where my crosshair is. All right, and you can see this point is 1 unit away because each of the gap is 2 right here. So it's 1 unit away to the left, 1 unit to the right, 1 unit up, 1 unit down. So that right there. And then we just found out the rectangle, or in this case a square. So I'm going to go in here and draw a square. What is the dimension of that? It's 6.4853. So I'm going to put 6.4853. I'm going to hit the tab. 6.4853. Enter. So I got myself a square. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on move. Remember, this is in the center. It needs to be out 1 unit. So I'm going to click move, select my object, hit enter. Now I'm going to have to click on that corner because I'm going to move that corner away. And then now they ask me, where do I want this to be? All right. So I'm going to hit the Alt symbol, right? The @Gmail thing, the @ symbol. And then I'm going to put in my unit 1. I'm going to do comma 1 and then enter. All right. So that is where it is. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to click on array and then select my object and hit enter. I got all this array. So right now it's 4 by 3. I can do a 4 by 4 because just I want to make sure that it's cover everything. We're going to mirror this and rotate this and all that stuff. All right. So right now you can see. Let me close this real quick. I'm going to measure this distance for you guys. And as you can see, look at that. The gap is 3.2426. What? All right. We want it to be, we want the gap to be 2. But the gap right now is actually more than what we need. So I'm going to hit escape. And I'm going to do Control Z to get back to the original one. I'm going to hit array. And I click the object and hit enter. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and do it 4 by 4 again. All right. I want you guys to look at the between for horizontal and vertical. It is 9.7 something. All right. Vertical and horizontal. First of all, we know that it's the same thing. So for our shape, because it's a square. So 6.4853. And there's 2 for the gap. Right. So we're going to add 2 to that. So this right here should be 8.4853, and that is the same number for both, 8.4853. Okay, and then we can go ahead, hit enter, and close my array. And at this point, you can go ahead and now quickly check the unit now is 2. All right, and the height is 6.4853 plus 2. That's where the 8 point something come on. All right, so now that is done. What we're going to do is going to click on mirror, select my object, hit enter, click on that center, and then we just mirror it. Hit no for that. I'm going to do mirror one more time. This time I'm going to click on both, and then I hit enter. Now I can go back to the center there, and then I can also mirror and hit no. All right, now I have all of that. Now let's take a look at this 45 degree. That a degree that we need to rotate all of this. I'm going to click on rotate. Then I'm going to select all of my objects by clicking on them. All right, and then I'll hit enter. Now I select the point of rotation, which is again the center that we created earlier. Click on that. Now we can rotate them, right? That's fun. Okay. The only thing we need to do is we're going to go down here, put in our 45-degree angle, put in 45. My number key is not working. Okay, it's right here. I'm going to hit enter, and voila. You guys see we have that with two of the triangle or a square. You can see that again. That going down, there's only two shapes. So that's the pattern that we're looking for, right? So I'm going to hit escape, and we're going to try to trim out the stuff out here. Now, here's the problem. If I click on trim and try to trim it, I can't, all right? Because everything now is together. So again, earlier we did what? Explode. So I'm going to click that. We're going to click everything, all right? I'm going to tap explode, EX, and then that going to show up explode. It's exploded just now. We're going to go to trim. We can start now trimming. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to draw that across. I'm going to zoom in real careful here. Draw down. I'm going to get rid of that. As you can see, look at that corner. That is what we're looking for, right? Same thing. And same thing. I'm going to try to trim those out. Now, as you guys can see, look at that little corner that we have right here. That is what we're looking for. We want to have a little corner, right? Hit escape. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and try to clean this up. I'm doing the bottom select here. All right, now I have that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on my horizontal and vertical lines, get rid of them. Then I can also trim out the section that I don't need. First, I need to click on this and explode, because that was a rectangle that we created earlier. All right, click on it, trim, and then we start trimming. Okay, I'm going to trim out the stuff that we can trim, and this problem almost done. There's one more thing that I'm going to have to show you guys. That is how to insert this back into the shape itself. All right. All right. Are we done? Are we done? All right, there you go. Now look at that pattern and look at this pattern. Look at the two patterns. They are the same exact, aren't they? All right. So you can also double check real quick. You can see that the gap there is 2, because that's what they're asking for. All right, the angle is 45 because that's also is given. All right, so now that I have that information there, what do I do next? All of that is the same, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in here. I'm going to take this real quick. Now, remember, this is a corner that we need to use. We're going to use that corner. But let me go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and I can keep that so I don't have to redraw things, but that's too much. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that corner real quick. I'm going to get rid of everything here on this side. I'm going to leave that thing. What I'm going to do real quick now, since I already have it, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to go down to that intersection and I'll create that little segment there. Take this, get rid of it now. So now this little corner here, that endpoint will be the point that I'm going to insert this corner in. All right. So first things first, I'm going to do move. I'm going to select my whole thing. I'll hit enter, and then I'm going to go ahead and select that corner. When I have that corner selected, I can now zoom in and zoom out to my location. I'm going to put snap onto that. Voila. Hit escape, and don't forget to remove it, to remove the one that we draw earlier. Now there you go. This is your shapes for the problem, and you can go ahead and check again quickly. That's 2 for the height. That's the one we assume. This 3, and then that is 3 up there. The gap here is 4. Everything 6.4853. All right, the gap between each of those 2. All right, 2. And now lastly, let's confirm everything by taking out dimension. I'm gonna go here, make it, well, this problem do blue, but green will show up best on the black here. So I'm gonna use that because we've done this before. I'm gonna go to dim style. I'm gonna change the text real quick. The text is going to be, I'm going to use, that little gap was only 2, so I'm going to actually use 4, or I can do 3.5 and do that. I forgot if we have dimension, we don't have decimal, so we can also go and change our unit to 0 decimal. Close that dimension, and we're going to go ahead and bring out all the dimension that we can. You can see that is 60. And then we have this little one here, that's 12. All right. And we're going to go ahead and try to do the 45 here. So this angle that was given from the problem, that one to that location, that angle is a 45-degree angle. Look at that. It's the same angle, right? And then also they want the 2, so that means it's going to be right here. I'm going to click on that, and then I'm going to click on that. I'm going to bring it out. It's 2. So this problem is done. The only thing we have to do is to take out the units. Enjoy.